So, man, we have a lot of stuff to get through today.
I know.
Like a ton. And I know you got to go fly. So I
Yeah, I'm
have
getting on a plane soon.
I got the big list as always. Where do you want me to start? Do you have anything you want to start with?
Oh my God, so much has happened. Have we recorded since Roadkill Nights?
Have we? Yes, we have. Yes,
We did. All right, so we already talked about Roadkill Nights and building a Hemi on a picnic table and racing on Woodward Avenue.
That was the last thing we did, but we did not talk about you getting your car really, really fast and you getting a license, because that has just happened.
That happened. What's today? Monday? Well, yesterday. Day before yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. So let's back up, and I'll try to keep this short. So at Roadkill Nights, David Freiberger and I raced on Woodward Avenue. Roadkill shut down Woodward Avenue and had street legal racing, which was epic. And I had full-on bucket list items, and one of them was to do a wheelie, and I did. I pulled the wheels in first and second gear in Blasphemy, my 55 Chevy, and then tried to put it in third, and it didn't go in third. It went in fifth. And I assumed at the time that was just, I screwed up. But when I got home, drove the car around a little more, I realized that Tremec T56 really didn't want to go into third anymore.
Oh.
And it's been that way a little while. I just haven't really noticed it. And to be honest, that trans is not built for the engine combo that's in there. That engine right now is making 900 horsepower at 6 pounds of boost and wants to rev to the moon. And that trans from Tremec, the Magnum 6-speed, is really rated at 700 and about 7,000 RPM. They don't want you shifting higher than that. And so I've been granny shifting it for 2 years. And finally, we pulled it out of the car, drained the fluid out, and most of the fluid was gold. So it had been going away.
Gold as in there was gold stuff in it, not golden like A+, you're doing great.
Exactly. Yeah. That pink tranny fluid was gold, more gold than pink. And there will be an episode on Finnegan's Garage about this. So pulled the trans out, and I bought a G-Force G5R 5-speed, which is a smaller, lighter transmission that is designed where you only use the clutch in first gear. So imagine sitting at a stoplight or sitting on the starting line of a drag strip. You dump the clutch, take off, and when it's time to go into second, you just put it in second. Mm-hmm. You bang it in there, and third, fourth, and fifth. And so what it does is it saves you a tenth or more every time you're shifting, instantly making your car faster. It's also louder and not smooth and street friendly like the Tremec. Like the Tremec drove like a new Camaro. This thing, it's a racing transmission. So driving around town, it's not as fun.
Does it whine a lot, like straight cut gears?
Just a little bit. Like you can, when you're accelerating, it whines just a little bit. On decel, you hear it a whole bunch. But it's one of those things where, dude, I don't care. It kind of sounds cool. It made the car a little less street friendly to drive around. Like you're driving around town, and when you pull it into a gear, it bangs. But the end result of this is I put that in. I changed the clutch because it had a different spline for the input shaft. Put a different Mantic clutch in there, still a triple disc. Made a new trans mount, rewired a bunch of stuff in the car, and long term I'm getting this thing ready for drag week, which is in a week and a half. But before drag week, I need to get a license to actually compete at drag week, because the class I'm running, which is called A-Gas, most of those cars are 9-second cars, and I think a couple of them are capable of going in the 8s. So to be competitive, I need to be that fast. Well, anything quicker than 9.99 seconds, you need a driver's license for. And to get a driver's license, you need to go to a drag strip and make 6 passes with 2 currently NHRA certified drivers watching you. Mm-hmm. So my friends and I were getting no sleep. We spent like 3 days last week basically not sleeping, getting the car ready, overcoming a bunch of hurdles. And we get to the track Friday, and we get there, and my first pass, I do a burnout, everything's fine, pull up to the starting line, no clutch. And fluid pouring out of the bell housing.
You just put it in, too.
Just put it in. So back to the pits, we discover my hydraulic throwout bearing is leaking. And it's over traveling. The gap between the bearing and the clutch was too great. I blew it on the measurement. And so it over traveled when I put the clutch in. And it broke. So clock's winding down, transmission out of the car. My next door neighbor, Robbie, who's an amazing man, leaves his house and drives 2 hours in Atlanta traffic to bring me parts in my garage that I had. And this was literally, I'm at a drag strip and we're FaceTiming. I'm guiding him through my garage trying to find the parts. I'm like, look at that.
I know the tentacles of this garage, dude. Go past the third shelf with the crap on it and look under that crap.
Right. And I haven't, the spare parts, I haven't used them in years. So we had to both find them. I didn't even know where they were. So we find them, we find tools. He bonsais out in Atlanta traffic. 2 hours later, gets there, and we slam this transmission back in like 20 minutes. It's me, Daniel Boshears, Matt Nab, Chris from John Causey Racing Engines, and some other people that were there. Everybody helping. We get the trans back in, new throwout bearing, everything's fine. And I go up there and I make 3 passes. Now, those first 3 passes are only half track, a little shorter than half track passes, like 330 feet. And I make all 3 of them just as the track closes. And we're high-fiving each other. We didn't get our license, but we knew we could come back the next day, which is Saturday, because that track was having a bracket race. And the track manager, Mike, real nice guy, said he allowed people to make test passes throughout the day. And then I could just slide in there.
And that's legit? That counts?
Yeah.
As long as anybody's watching, you can do it, and you're...
Yeah.
Oh.
So the next day, the track is full of licensed racers who can watch. So I get there the next day. We had all gone home and slept. I don't know. I was in bed at like 2:30 in the morning again or something. And I woke up at 5 because that's when my kids wake up. So I'm dead tired. We had all split up. My buddy Daniel had taken his truck home with the tools and everything in it. I had taken Blasphemy home on a trailer behind me. And the next morning I get up, I head to the track. I get there. And the car's broke, and I don't have any tools because Daniel's got them, and Daniel's 4 hours from the track. And what broke on the car was the leaf springs.
How the hell did that break?
Well, they didn't physically break, but the car had come down from a wheelie on the last pass at the starting line and bent the leaf springs backwards.
The front leaf springs?
So the front leaf springs bent backwards.
Yeah.
The oil pan was sitting on the front straight axle. And we didn't notice it when we were done the night before in the dark. Nobody really even noticed it when we loaded the car on the trailer. And I noticed it when I got the car off the trailer in the daylight at the track the next day. So now I'm going, oh, crap. I mean, these things are kinked. And I have no tools. So I'm going around the track, borrowing tools from people, get the springs out. And Boshears gets there. And we end up at the suggestion of this random guy who happened to come by named Steve, who turns out he's pretty much an engineer. He's like, I'll just put a bottle jack on this side of the leaf spring, wrap a chain around it, and open the bottle jack, and it'll straighten the spring back out. And I'm sitting there going, that's genius. That's totally genius. We had already laid the leaf springs on 2 pieces of wood under a car trailer and used the jack of the car trailer.
I got lost. Can you say that one more time?
Okay, so the leaf spring, imagine it being like a half moon, right?
Uh-huh.
It was S-shaped. It had a kink in the leaf spring, and
this is a. I guess I was assuming there's plastic and elastic deformation in the engineering world, but this wasn't permanent. You just had to unkink it.
Well, they were pretty much permanent. I mean, you would rearrange the molecules, bent it the wrong direction, and then it stayed there.
Yeah.
The leaf springs, I pretty much are junk, but I'm going to try to straighten them anyway because I need to get a damn license. So Boshears and I have set the leaf springs on 2 pieces of wood, one at each end, and then put them under a car trailer on the tongue jack, and extended the tongue jack down on the leaf spring to try to straighten it out. But it didn't. It lifted the car trailer off the ground, which was attached to my truck. So imagine that kind of weight being lifted off the ground by a leaf spring that's kinked.
Kudos, though. That was a clever idea.
I thought so,
yeah.
But it didn't work. So we're standing there scratching our heads when this guy Steve just comes by. And turns out he's a Roadkill fan. Super nice guy. I'd never met him before. Very intelligent. He looks at what's going on. He says, I've done this before. Put a bottle jack on top of the leaf spring. Take a chain and go around the leaf spring and around the top of the bottle jack. And when the bottle jack extends, the chains tighten. The leaf springs get compressed against the base of the bottle jack, and it bends the leaf spring straight. And it does.
Did you video that?
Yes.
Thank God.
It'll be in an episode of Finnegan's Garage. So I'm with my iPhone going, this is amazing.
Wow.
So we straightened the leaf springs past where they were bent. They basically looked like they used to. And the reason these things bent was there's only 2 springs, the long one and then a short one in the bottom, right? Well, the bottom one was way too short. We had lowered the car by taking some of the leaf springs out, and I don't know what possessed me to do it, but we stuck the smallest leaf spring in there. So it was way too short. It didn't support the other ends of the leaf spring. So we took that out and put a longer leaf spring in there, which ended right around, way past the point where the leaf spring had been kinked. So anyway, this is a long story. I'm sorry. We put the leaf springs back in the car.
I'm sold.
Go to the starting line, and now I need to run quicker than 10 flat to get a license. My cars never run quicker than 1022. Never, ever, ever. So I'm sitting there going, please work, please work. I have no idea whether my car will even go this fast. Do the burnout, take off, car goes straight, runs a 986. And I'm just on the rev limiter on the moon, cloud nine, whatever you want to call it. I'm high-fiving myself in the car. This is the greatest day ever, Woo! Did it.
You're high-five. Mike, yeah. Mike, give me some. Yeah, Mike.
Right. And it's late in the day. We're running out of time. Okay, go back to the pit.
And check the car just to keep in mind, you don't get a license today. Drag week, it's no fun for you.
Right. The reason for getting a license is so that I can run fast enough, if my car will go that fast, to hang with the big dogs in this class.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can only go 10 seconds flat. I can't go quicker. So I need to do this 2 more times. Go back to the pit, look at the data, check for leaks. Got a few leaks. We're taking care of those. Go back out there. I see that I'm on the rev limiter the last 300 feet of the run. I'm in 4th gear on the rev limiter. And so I try to raise the rev limiter, go back out there. I run 963. 2/10 quicker. Yeah, dude, this is rad.
That's a lot, too. In this world. I mean, that's like a year faster. That's really fast.
Pass number 2, I'm still on the rev limiter. The rev limiter is now at 7,500 RPM. I'm still on the rev limiter going through the traps. So basically, I'm hauling ass. I put it in 4th, and I'm like, what? As it goes through the lights, which you don't want. It's slowing me down.
Yep.
So I run 963. Go back, raise the rev limiter again to 8 grand. Go again. .956 at 136 miles an hour. This thing is cooking, but it's still on the rev limiter. But I've made 3 9-second passes. The night before, I did my 3 hole shot passes on paper. Dude, got a license, right? Roll back to the pit. We're high-fiving. We're stoked. Go over to the track manager, Mike. Here's our 3 9-second time slips. Can we sign our paperwork? And he's like, sure, no problem. Let's get this done. Where's your time slips from last night? Daniel, where's the time slips? I thought you had them. No, I don't have them. I was in the car. Does Matt have them? I don't know. Matt's not here. Matt's out kayaking. He didn't come back today because he had a family thing. Can't get a hold of Matt. Can't find the time slips. Oh my God. It's now almost about to rain. I only have half of the time slips I need to pull this off. Go back to Mike, the track manager. What do we do? And he goes, you got to make 3 more passes. Oh, crap. Okay. The car's really hot at this point because we've been hot lapping it. I'm like, fine. We need 3 hole shots. I can do that. No. You need to go all the way down the track. I need to make 3 more 9-second passes back to back? Yes. Oh, no. It's got a roots blower on top of the engine. That thing is on fire. You can't even touch it. Everything in the car is hot. Okay, go back up there. Take off. I know it's going to hit the rev limiter again in 4th, so I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to put it in 5th gear. So I do, and this thing just rips. Bitch is rolling. 946 at 141 miles an hour.
You're only getting faster.
Dude, this thing is an animal. And this is with 6 pounds of boost. And I'm leaving the starting line at like 3,000 RPM, 3,500. I'm not even getting after it. And it pulls the sexiest wheelie I've ever experienced in my life. Just comes down gently, goes perfectly straight. Woohoo! All right. Back to the pit, wipe things down, get in line again, run another 9. Okay, come back around. It's dark. Track's about to close. I take off in 1st gear. All good. Put it in 2nd. Clutch slips. No. Oh, crap. Put it in 3rd. Clutch slips. Put it in 4th. Clutch slips. And I go through the traps going, this does not feel fast. The clutch is doing nothing. Roll around, pick up my time slips, 10:15.
No.
Oh, no, dude. The clutch is toast. There's nothing left. This thing won't even go down the track again, even if I could. Go back to the pit and totally ejected. I've made like 9 passes. You know, I've beat the snot out of my poor car. And go to Mike, the track guy. He's like, congratulations. What do you mean, dude? That was 10:15. He's like, oh, yeah, it didn't matter. He's like, I want to see car control. You only have to run a 9 once. The other ones don't have to be that quick.
What? Where the hell?
I'm like, what the hell?
Where were you 3 hours ago?
I have beat the crap out of my car trying to run 9s every pass because I thought I had. And it turns out I didn't have to. But, dude, it was rad. I brought tools from I don't even know how many racers there. Met these really nice kids whose dad raced. They raced. His 2 sons signed off on my license, which was rad. Like, you know, I think I got out of there at 11 o'clock at night, just dog tired, dripping with sweat, car trashed. But we have a license now, and I'm going to get on an airplane today, go film Roadkill. My friends are going to pull the trans out of the car, get the clutch serviced, and then when I get back, I have 4 days to do a bunch of other updates to the car and then leave for drag week, and I'm going to have the time of my life.
Good for you. Good.
And I think the car is
That's
almost
so great.
fast enough now where it needs a parachute. Because when you go 150, you have to have a parachute legally. My plan now is to go 150 at drag week.
I did watch some of your videos. Who shot them? Daniel?
I think Daniel was on the starting line shooting most of them. Yeah, with his iPhone.
I was you know what you're doing. Well, and I don't mean it that way, but I guess I wasn't surprised. Like, Mike knows what he's doing, but like you launched great.
Thank you. Well, here's the thing.
Like a true drag race, like you hooked up, went straight, did like I was impressed.
Thank you. But here's the thing is I'm not a seasoned drag racer. I don't get to drag race all year long. I don't drag race professionally cars. But thanks to Roadkill, I am 100% used to getting in a car that is completely untested, not knowing what's going to happen and just dealing with it. And so, you know, the last Roadkill shoot, we threw that car together with an aluminum short block in it, shaved 150 pounds off the nose, drove right out onto Woodward Avenue. And Woodward Avenue has got a crown in it. It's got a crack in it. It's not straight. It's uphill. It's a mess. And I had to be able to let the clutch out, put my foot to the floor, and go and just deal with it, whatever happened. And so that's pretty much what was going on, you know, this weekend at a drag strip. Is didn't know what the car was going to do, but it is what it is. Deal with it and try to get a license. And that, you know, I don't think it necessarily makes me a really great driver. I think it just makes me maybe calm when that kind of situation happens.
It was good.
Now, when you lose all your time slips and are in danger of not getting a license, I'm not calm at all. I was freaking out, dude. And Daniel Boshiers, if you're listening to this, thank you for dealing with the pressure. I'm sorry. I know it was stressful. But, yeah, at that point, I was ready to throw tools because, you know, we'd already had the trans out. We'd bent leaf springs back together in the pit with a bottle jack. And to not get a license for drag week because we lost paper, I was literally just like, this is stupid.
Man, if there were ever time for an app or, you know, something like where you could just like, see, I did it yesterday. It's here.
Oh, dude, why didn't I take pictures of these time slips? I didn't because I wasn't proud of them. The time slips from the night before, they were 330-foot launches. There was nothing to go, yeah, look how fast my car is, you know. The next day, the first one I went in the 9, dude, took a picture of it, texted everybody I knew. So those ones I took pictures of, but the ones from the night before that we lost, no photos.
Yeah, I don't know what I got a text Saturday night at like 1 in the morning, Sunday morning, I guess, from you. It was one picture and that was it.
Yeah, I think I had just finished watching the Mayweather McGregor fight, and I was walking home from my brother's house and sent that to you.
That was awesome.
Because that was the other thing. We were done at the track, went to dinner, ate, and then I hauled butt home to celebrate my brother's birthday. He was live streaming the fight at his house, and so I went to his house, and even though I was just dead tired, I'm hanging out with my brother, you know, to celebrate his birthday and see this fight. So
who won?
Cool. Mayweather. It was interesting. Do you want to talk about the fight?
Oh, not a ton, but I knew what the odds were on it.
So here's what I liked about it. It wasn't a joke. Both of them took it seriously. In the first few rounds, it was obvious McGregor was not a boxer. And he couldn't turn on.
For those that are totally unfamiliar, and this is not the first kind of oddball pairing with Mayweather. It was
the last one? He couldn't turn off his MMA instincts. Could not turn those off. Mayweather kept turning around backwards in the ring, and McGregor instantly was like elbow to the back of the head or punch to the back of the head, and the ref would have to stop him. It was hilarious. But the thing I'll say about this is Mayweather wasn't his normal self. He wasn't just doing defense the whole time. He was actually punching, but he doesn't punch very hard. So he was never in danger of knocking McGregor out. McGregor just got gassed. He's not used to standing there for 10 rounds. And after round 7, I'd say, he was just tired. And in round 9 and 10, he could barely keep his hands up. But he wasn't getting knocked out. He just got to the point where his hands were down. He was backed against the rope, but he really wasn't defending himself. So the ref stopped the fight, which sucked because the crowd wanted to see somebody get knocked down. No one got knocked down, not even once.
What?
And not once. They were both punching. Nobody got knocked down. Mayweather wasn't even tired. You could tell this is the difference between MMA. We were all sitting on the couch going, there were these moments where we were like, McGregor literally would break him in half. He just wants to do that right now, but he can't because of the rules. Mayweather had been out of the ring for 2 years. You would think he wasn't conditioned for this. No, totally was. He wasn't even breathing hard. He's used to punching over and over and over again for minutes at a time, which is really difficult to do. And that was the difference. McGregor lost just because he wasn't used to punching over and over again for minutes at a time. And that's the only reason he lost.
I followed some of the business buildup of this, and these fights are money makers. I mean, it's usually $100 to get the fight.
Dude, it crashed. It crashed the live feed. We couldn't. Really? We were sitting on the couch. We couldn't log on to pay-per-view. Pay-per-view crashed. Everyone wanted to watch it. Nobody could get onto it. And at the last minute, we missed the whole undercard. Both fights before the fight, we missed because we couldn't log on. We finally got in about middle of the first round.
You could see about 3 weeks ago that the early signups were off. Like something wasn't working. They started having Mayweather come out and talking a little more respectfully and thinking, you know what? I might get beat. I'm not prepared for this kind of guy, and he is ready. And it was as posturing as you're gonna get. But I was really curious, what's gonna happen with the payout? Because what did he get paid to fight Pacquiao? Wasn't it $100 million or?
Yeah. I think he was guaranteed 100 on this. McGregor was guaranteed 30, and then they would both, obviously partake in the pay-per-view, whatever that ended up being. I think they both made stupid money, and the thing I'll say is it was an honest fight from what I could see. I've heard people saying there were people pulling punches and whatnot if you analyze some of the video. And I don't think McGregor was pulling punches. I think he was just flat out missing, I think some of the video that's going around, this conspiracy video, you can see him missing, and people are saying it's on purpose. And I'm like, no, that dude is tired and he was missing. I was fine with the fight. Totally was.
I'm going to listen to the Murph and Andy show today, which is my local sports show. That they always have really good analysis on stuff like this, and they understand the science of boxing way better than I do. It sounds like you understand way better than I do. But I can tell you the business side of this is intriguing to me. You know what they don't have? They don't have Bombfell.
You're so smooth.
They're not going to be sharp-dressed men today.
Here's the thing. I'm not a boxer guy at all. I like competition. I like sports. And so I never watch boxing. I watch it because of this. I rarely watch MMA, but McGregor is a captivating guy, and I'm Irish, and down from motherland, whatever you want to call it. And so, I was gonna watch this. I was gonna watch this.
Homan?
Oh, Lucky Charms.
Homan
would
be a countryman. One of my countrymen.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever that is. And so, so I watched it just because I love competition. I will watch the NBA playoffs. I will watch, I don't watch preseason football, but I love baseball, basketball, football, all that stuff. I usually never follow anything during the regular season just because I don't have time, but I watch the playoffs.
Yeah, last year I watched the World Series. I don't follow baseball. I'm developing a baseball product with a bunch of baseball super fans.
And you don't watch it.
I don't really watch baseball.
But your product is aimed at kids playing T-ball, so it's I can understand why you're not watching regular season baseball.
It's a totally different market, but that's before we started recording that, we shot our Kickstarter video yesterday for that.
Congratulations.
And yeah, the video crew came out with the clapboard, that thing.
I don't even know what you call it. That thing is rad, and it makes you feel like you're professional.
Yeah, because they had video going and audio on a separate channel, and it was just really cool. Kirk actually gave us a bunch of advice on what shots to get and what lighting, and it's cool. I'll tell you more about that later. That's coming down the road. Right. But okay,
what else do we got to get to?
Alrighty, ready for the Dukes of Hazzard season 3 episode 4 review of And in This Corner, Luke Duke. Mike, Did you see this episode?
Yes, I did.
What?
Damn good one.
What is your super summary 30-second show review for the listeners?
Oh, okay. This one is for the ladies. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. This entire episode, the Tom Wopat man candy is on a full display as Luke fights to save the family farm. Man, that's noble. The day begins with a monster quarter panel crushing jump in the general. And it's a nice start, if I do say so myself. The boys are headed to the boar's nest where Roscoe is unloading a massive mirror meant to spiff up the joint. Instant shenanigans here. I'm going early on this one. And they're completely apparent when on the way to the boar's nest, Bo is driving during the jump scene. But when they get to the boar's nest, Luke gets out of the driver's side of the car.
He does? When they pull up in front of the mirror?
Yep, shenanigans. But I digress.
Okay.
So, once inside the boar's nest, Luke puts on a mighty display of redneck manliness by deadlifting Boss's massive new mirror into position inside the bar, which attracts the attention of a couple of fight-promoting scam artists. And by the way, do you ever wonder what's in those beer mugs? Because they look the right color for light beer, and there's a head on them. I want to know that answer. I think they're actually drinking beer when they're.
I don't know. Okay. I thought it was just near beer, apple juice.
Anyway, these two scammers lure Bo into a slugfest inside the boar's nest, which results in him getting thrown basically into Boss's prized $3,000 mirror. It gets destroyed. Bo gets blamed. He gets tossed in jail. Then the scammers trick Boss into settling the debt by organizing a prize fight. All right. And here's the rub. They get him to sign a contract that says Boss gets all the money from the gambling and the food. They get all the money from the gate. But if Bo doesn't show up for the fight and there's no fight, they get all the money.
If Luke doesn't show up for the fight.
If Luke doesn't show up for the fight, they get all the money. All right. So Boss goes to the prison, immediately tries to convince Luke to fight. But he won't, because in his last fight, when he was in the Marines, he nearly killed the other guy. And this weighs heavily on the man. So, Boss puts a lien on the family farm. All right. And with the farm in jeopardy, Luke reluctantly agrees to step into the ring with this monster. Cue the Rocky training footage montage. I mean, it's replicated right down to the one-armed push-ups and his choice of workout gear.
2% body fat. If that.
All right, like I said, it was for the ladies, Rob.
Yeah.
Now, here's where things...
I can appreciate good work. Just he's doing it.
You put your pants on one leg at a time, just like every other guy that looks good in jeans, right? Okay. So
today
eventually,
I sure do. Where am I?
Roscoe and Uncle Jesse... sorry, let me back up here. I'm skipping ahead. The family can basically the family. I'm still not past what you said. So eventually, the family convinces Luke to fight, and he starts training. And you're enjoying this, I see. So when the fight day comes, family heads to town square where it's going off. Bo and Luke are about ready to leave the farm when the partners of the two scammers arrive and at gunpoint kidnap Luke Duke. Bo chases him in the General Lee, gets a flat because they shot out his tire. Eventually, Roscoe comes to the rescue, and he and Uncle Jesse get Luke to the ring. Luke wins the fight. And impressively, it does look like actual punches were being thrown, especially at the end when he knocks out his guy. He actually hits that dude in the face. So Luke wins the fight, conceivably saving the farm, except the bad guys had stolen all of the gate money during the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Bo and Luke need to catch them. And this yields the single greatest jump the Generally has made to date in this fine television series. It leaps through the second floor of a freaking barn and covers the bad guys in debris, stopping them dead in the tracks.
Mr. Culpepper? No.
And they had to cut away during the landing because it was going to land on one corner, and it was brutal. But it's my favorite jump, hands down. And because of that jump alone, I'm giving this 10. Trailer park, truck stop, lot lizard eating corn dogs.
My goodness.
Yeah.
This one has left a mark on you.
Oh, yeah. That jump I will never forget. I'm trying to forget your adoration of Luke Duke training, but I will never forget the jump.
I'm just saying can hold his own.
What are you going to talk to him about? Why are you going to talk about him holding his own, okay? Please?
This is the day.
It's finally happening.
Congratulations to us both. And more importantly, to the listeners for this amazing deal that we're about to throw their way.
Lay it on them.
Well, it's with Bombfell, which is a clothing company, sort of.
Well, they're not a clothing company; they're a clothing distributor, and it's a very unique way to distribute clothing.
It's an online company where you go. It's for men, number one, and you get a stylist, and you go in and kind of put in your dimensions of who you are, kind of how you like to dress. They choose things for you, send them to you. If you like them, you keep them and pay for them, and if you don't, you send them back. And there's no subscription charge. No.
Yeah, there's no service fee, no subscription charge. This is for guys like me. Every now and again, I need to dress up, right? And you know me, my normal outfit is t-shirt and shorts. But every now and again, I need some going out clothes.
Borderline hobo.
And
that's how you dress.
Right.
Yes.
Or I'm naked, and I'm so out of touch with normal society because my entire world revolves around drag strips and racetracks and things, that when I want to go out and look good for my lady, I'll typically go into Nordstrom's and go into the men's department because they have stylists there. And they will go, this is what you should be wearing. And I'll look at it and go, I'm a little uncomfortable, but yeah, what the hell, let's do this. And so this takes the awkwardness of meeting them in person and being in the store and all of the time I'm burning doing that out of the equation, and speeds it up, and the stuff comes right to your house. And like you said, if you like it, then you pay for it. If you don't like it, dude, send it back.
And it's to emphasize here, this isn't like a monthly subscription. You pay for it if you use it. That's about it. So what we're going to do here, we have a total plan that we just came up with. I have already opened we each got a package that we got to choose. I opened mine. I'm wearing my duds right now.
I was going to say, you are spiffier than you normally are. I mean, you normally dress better than I do. You've got the golf shirt on. You look professional.
It's today, the office I'm in. Like, I feel kind of like a stud. I look check out the jeans. Like,
it's working for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, my wife said,
man candy.
Butt looks good. So that's usually all I'm going for.
That's all that matters in life, really. Keep your wife happy.
Wait, here, pull this website up while we're talking. Bombfell, Bombfell. But it's easy. You just sign up, and you kind of go through some little steps. And what's really nice is if you can't get through the simple steps yourself, your lady can on your behalf. So when your business manager and I went through this for you.
And I've not opened the package, so I'm genuinely curious about what arrived, because he's right. I didn't fill this out. I don't know what I was doing at the time that it needed to be done in time for this.
You were on the road, but I have the Life After Denim plaid shirt and the Big Star Icon tapered jeans, and these are nice quality clothes. This is good stuff that's worth keeping. It's like good tools, lasts a long time.
Your jeans did not cost $8.
No, they're probably going to last more than a week too. So, what? Okay, open yours up. What do you got?
Okay, yeah. So this is a little bit like Christmas when you don't submit a list to Santa. Trusting you, Kibbe.
So this is
what the clothes come in.
Here's the beauty. There's a stylist on the other end.
You can't see, but you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bag in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and then there's clothes in bags. I think we almost got the same shirt.
You look. Oh, yours is more red.
So I have a Grayer's peach red plaid shirt, which of course I like plaid. This looks short sleeve, perfect for summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have pantalones. Oh, these are soft. Okay, so these are by
mine are too.
These are by Wesk, WSC, and this is where the service really shines. I've never heard of Wesk. I would never know to even try them on, and I wouldn't know where to find them. But these look cool, and I'm not going to try them on right now, just because Kibbe doesn't need to see me naked.
I've seen it,
but I will later. And here's the thing about it is, if it doesn't fit or I don't like it, I just send it back, and it's not like I got to pay a service fee or a monthly subscription. So I'm down with this, and it's going to save me time.
Yeah, it's cool. BOMBFELL.com, and when you go there, you can get $25 off. Bombfell.com/KAFS, Kibbe and Finnegan Show. But go check that out. Yeah, the clothes I'm wearing, I never would have picked these out myself. I don't even know how to pick these out myself. When I go clothes shopping, it's I'm a get in, get out type of person. I hate it. I hate every bit of it.
You're like most guys. We go in and we pretty much buy the same stuff over and over and over again. Once you're an adult, once you become an adult, and you tend to fall into a pattern and buy the same stuff. So this is an easy way to go out on a limb here, and not be awkward, not be embarrassed, not have to deal with people, and I think a lot of guys are going to dig this.
Yeah, maybe you're going to the SEMA show, maybe for the first time. Look the part.
There you go.
Yeah, looks good. We'll put a little plug in here towards the end, but
dress for the chick you want, the job you want, not the job you have.
There we go. I was gonna give their tagline, but yours is better. Dress for the chick you want. That was a great sponsor. I hope they come back.
It was fun while it lasted.
Bombfell, open and close. That's their tagline. Oh, Mike, what are we going to do with you? You're just a walking unmade bed. You're just...